Hey guys, JawsTheSharkReviews here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Generation 1 Battletrap. So here he is in his alt modes. That's how this guy goes. So I'll give a little more info on that in a bit, but first let's take a look at the packaging. Oh wait, there is no packaging. What? Well, technically there is a packaging. I just don't have it because, long story short, I got these guys pretty recently, secondhand. So no box, no nothing. So, but hey, at least they're complete. So can't complain there. So now back to Battletrap right here. So I'll give a whole explanation on this character for those who have absolutely no clue, who he is or anything. So so around, I know this came out in like 1987 or 88. I think it was 87. So Hasbro was already starting to do some gimmicks with the Transformers line. The cartoon was about almost done, and they're just like, you know what, screw it. Let's add gimmicks to this toy line that's not entirely just transforming. I mean, the gimmick here is transforming, but trust me, further down the line they get into some really, really odd stuff. But yeah, so one of the things was the Duocons, which were basically, it's one character but transforms into two separate vehicles. So when they transform, when the character transforms, the two vehicles come together and combine into the robot. That's basically how it works. So and more recently, they did have this character. This character. It's really weird when I see two vehicles here on the table, but this character was remade in Power of the Primes into actually two separate characters. I forgot what they were. I think it was like Battle Slash and Road Trap. I forgot. I reviewed those two on my channel a long time ago. So, I'll sound a lot younger, let's just say. But yeah, so they kind of changed the gimmick up. They made it more into a combiner because they had their own individual robot modes and stuff. But this original G1 version does not. So yeah. So anyways, let's stop blabbering and let's get on to the figures, or the figure, I guess. I don't know what to refer to this as. But yeah, so here's the helicopter. And yeah, it's definitely like a military one. Looks pretty cool though. I guess these are supposed to be like the guns. Maybe. Yeah. Pretty simplistic. But it does say here, copyright Hasbro 87. That's weird, seeing the little apostrophe then 87. Because usually they just put the whole year out. Now they're just like, nah, 87. It's the 80s, man. It's like everybody knows what century this is. So, yeah. It's pretty cool. Not really a whole lot to say, there's no real paint. Now, the helicopter does have a rub sign, as you can see right here. And, yeah, you can see it's purple, so that's nice. It's not some random other color like the other rub signs are. But yeah, so that's a Decepticon logo. It's really, really hard to see. But it does change color after a while if you don't put your, your thumb or finger over it. Yeah, it's slowly starting to change. You can see this toy is almost 40 years old, so it's gonna kind of act up a little bit. It's not gonna be all changing colors as easily as it once did. So yeah, and obviously, if you couldn't already tell, there is some yellowing, so a little unfortunate, but it happens. All right, so now let's move on to the van, I guess. Here it is. It kind of almost looks like a pickup truck, just with a little thing around it. But I don't know. I can't really tell what it's supposed to be. But either way, here it is. And yeah. Again, no paint or anything, no stickers except for the rub sign. Pretty simplistic. Again, you get Hasbro 87 right there. You get the little spring there. It's just that. And of course, speaking of the rub sign, let's just rub it up. There you go. Now it's purple, just like it was on the helicopter portion. And you know, he's got some rolling wheels. They're connected on one pin at least. So these two are connected, and then these two are connected. So yeah, pretty simple. But again, this was 87, like from 87. So you know, it's kind of forgivable. If they made this now, like if this were like a more lower end Transformer product, you know, today, I think it'd still be fine. You know, it wouldn't fit in like Age of the Primes or nothing, but you know, really cool though. So yeah, so let's do some quick little size comparisons here. So I guess with the helicopter, let's bring in Battle Slash. I think, was that the name in Power of the Primes? I forgot. They just split up the names and then added some other words to it. So I believe this one was Battle Slash, which is kind of a cool name, not gonna lie. But yeah, you could see obviously. Honestly, I think the helicopter looks better on this one, just because of how this one turned out. Yeah. but you know, obviously paint wise and stuff, details, this one wins because, you know, you got the windshield here all painted up. You get a little red here and blue there, although that's for the feet, but still more pleasing to look at deco wise. But obviously this is a pretty ugly looking helicopter, so you know. Yeah, honestly though, I hope Hasbro redoes Battletrap for like Age of the Primes or something, because this Power of the Primes one, it's okay. I mean, I like what they did with the separate robots, but it's a little outdated now. You know, you could obviously tell this was made before the War for Cybertron trilogy, just by, you know, the way that these were made. But yeah, and let's do a little comparison here with the two it's all vehicles, but I guess with the two road vehicles. So you can see that right there, and obviously this one looks much better. I mean, yeah, it's a little iffy back here, but in terms of the front, so much nicer. And I guess we'll do just some quick little comparisons, miscellaneous comparisons, if you will. So here the two vehicles are with tailgate, G1 tailgate. So you can kind of see that right here. You know, they're just a little bit bigger than the mini bots. And last but not least, here they are with Optimus Prime, the Grand Ol' Autobot leader. So yeah. I almost forgot. There is one accessory included, and that is a double-barreled gun. As you can see right here, it's all yellowed, especially right on top. But it does connect to the bottom of the helicopter, and yeah, it can get a real attack helicopter thing going here. So that's really cool. The Power of the Primes one didn't even have like a single accessory; it was just the figure. So I'd say that's a win-win right there. And unfortunately, the card has nothing. So unless, wait, there's a hole in the top. I wonder if you could put that in there. Oh yeah, look at that. You could. Oh, I guess they'd have to fight over who gets it, but yeah. Although it wouldn't really be much of a fight because they're both the same character. I know it's so confusing. Like me trying to explain these this whole character. It's so mind warping, I suppose, because two vehicles, but then one robot. You know, and the two vehicles don't become robots themselves. Like it's so hard, man. I really don't know how to explain it, but yeah. So yeah, there you guys have that. Just one more shot of them in there and in the alt modes. Yeah. I'm having a lot of trouble today, guys, because I really don't know what to say. It'll be much easier though when we combine the two vehicles into one, and then I won't have to figure out my grammar. So yeah, let's get this all transformed right here, shall we? So starting off, you just want to, you'll see there's a like a little stump here that will go into that slot. And yeah, so you just want to push this in, and at the same time this will lift up. And there you go. So that's one part of it. So you can kind of get a little helicopter being driven right at you action. And then after that, you just want to bring down this, and then kind of move this up. And there you go. Now you got yourself a Battletrap in his robot mode, so I can finally speak proper English. And yeah, obviously, you know, not that great looking. You know, it's a product of its time, but still, I think the gimmick is pretty fun. It's a little stuck. You know, it's not as easy as you place it down and then boom, it goes into this. It's like, I'm not sure if it's the age of the figure or just the way it was made, or a combination of both. But you know, I still think that he does look pretty good. So, yeah. Now, anyways, let's get a close-up look here at that sculpt. You know, it looks pretty good. You know, this is, well, I would say this is when Hasbro actually started, you know, designing Transformers based on how they were supposed to be made, but that was more like 1986-ish, you know, so, but yeah, I like the head, I like the silver for the visor, and a lot of it's stuff that we already saw before. Well, you could see now there's hands right here, and then there's one on this side, you know, no feet, obviously, it's just the truck, or the van, whatever it's supposed to be. I think it's a truck, just with some, like, something mounted on it. But yeah. Well, I guess almost the whole robot's mounted on it now, but yeah. And you get this little backpack here, so you can propel him, kinda. I'm not sure if it supports all this weight, but you could try. And yeah, that's essentially it. You know, he's got two rub signs, so, you know, double trouble. Yeah. So anyways, now for the accessories, again, he's got this, and if you're wondering, wait a minute, Jaws, how the heck is he supposed to hold it, because of, you know, how his hands are? Well, don't look at the hands, look on the sides of the shoulders. You'll see there are two holes on either side. Doesn't matter where you put it. I'm just going to put it right in here. And let's see, will that go in? It's supposed to go in. Alright, go in. Work with me, man. Work with me. Oh, there you go. And that right there is your weapon storage. It looks really, really awkward. I know, just yeah, there's no realistic way to kind of imagine this. I mean, it's, you know, it's definitely really awkward looking, but hey, at least there's a way for him to store it. I think it's cooler if you put it upwards like this, you know, so kind of he has this sort of thing on the shoulder, but again, with how puny the arms are, it's not really worth that. Like, yeah. I guess, you know, he still rolls as a robot, so, you know, you can kind of have him walking, sort of, kind of, but, yeah. Now, for articulation, his legs kick up. You can do that. You can have him sit down, but then he'll just go back up like that. It's all spring loaded here, so realistically, no articulation. It's just all in your head. You know, that was basically G1. You know, far less up to date engineering, I guess, but more imagination. So I guess it was a good way to get the kids to think. You know, it's like, if this thing could move better, it would be doing this, but now it's stuck looking like that. So yeah. So anyways, now for the robot mode size comparisons. Here he is with his Power of the Primes counterpart, and I will say, while it wasn't perfect, the Power of the Primes Battletrap, it still obviously blows the old school one way out of the water. But it's at the same time, though, it's not a fair comparison because of how much the engineering changed. You know, this is from '87, this one's from 2018, so you know, like a 30-year difference. So this one, oh, sorry about the lighting, I just realized. But yeah, so this one kind of has a pass. Like if they did this one like, I don't know, like classics or something, and it had more of this engineering, but it's still like this garbage, then yeah, I mean, there's that's a more fair take. But you know, but overall, this one's obviously the one that's more appealing to the eye, except for the proportions. They seem a little odd, but you know, I still really enjoyed this one. But this one's definitely the funner one. You know, if you want a Battletrap with more of a gimmick, then this one's the one for you. If you just want one that's more, I wouldn't say cartoon accurate, because I don't believe this guy ever showed up in G1, but I guess one that would look more cartoon accurate and just more posable and better in almost every way, then obviously this one's the one. So yeah, but we're not done with the comparisons. We'll do a few more. So yeah, here he is with tailgate, so you can see how this guy scales with a mini-bot. And last but not least, here he is with Optimus Prime. So close, still over half his height. But yeah, so there you guys have the robot mode size comparisons. And there you guys have my review for the Transformers Generation 1 Battletrap. And he's a pretty fun figure. You know, he's a nice, fun little figure to fiddle around with. But you know, just don't go expecting him to have tons of posability or paint or details or anything like that, because it's G1. It's a G1 toy, so it's not really going to have any of that. It's just going to be your bare bones brick. You know, just two smaller bricks that combine into one bigger brick. That's how I like to see it. But still fun. You know, definitely nostalgic for those that grew up in the 80s. I didn't grow up in the 80s, obviously I was born way after, but you know, but still has that nostalgia flair to it, and you know, just nice and simplistic, you know, as a lot of things should be, honestly. But yeah, so so there you guys have that. Let's see, so yeah, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, share, and just comment down below what you guys think of this figure. You know, do you somehow like this one more than the Power of the Primes one, or do you like the Power of the Primes one more? I don't know, just shoot me right down below in the comments. And yeah, so anyways guys, as always, till all, R1.